Doctors see the same dangerous mistake every single day. And the scary part is, most people do not even realize they are making them. From ignoring symptoms to taking random mixes, to trusting Google more than the actual doctor. That is very bad. These habits could be quietly destroying your health and you wouldn't even know. So before you make that your consultation or your next health decision, watch this video to the end because one of these mistakes could save your life. Imagine going to the doctor and hearing this. If you had come earlier, this could have been preventable or prevented. That is something doctors say far too often. Every day, they see patients making the same mistakes over and over again. Mistakes that turn small problems into serious ones, which is very bad. And the worst part is, most people think what they are doing is completely normal. It can make sense. So here at 10 days, doctors desperately wish people would stop there. The first on my list is goggling symptoms and convincing yourself you are dying. That is weird. You feel a headache, next thing you search online. And 5 minutes later, you are convinced you have a brain tumor. Sounds familiar, right? Everybody's guilty of this. Yes. Doctor says Google is one of the biggest reasons people panic unnecessarily. Internet often shows the scariest possibilities first. Yeah. Not the most likely ones. And sometimes people become so convinced by what they read, they ignore the actual doctor advice. The problem is that two people can have the exact same symptom for completely different reasons. Yes. A cough could be allergies, or a cold, or stress, or something more serious. This is why doctors wish people would stop turning the simple symptoms into terrifying diagnoses. The next one is ignoring symptoms until it's too late. Most people tend to ignore symptoms until it's too late. This one is more dangerous than people realize. Yes, it is more dangerous than people realize. So many people notice warning signs, but they keep saying, it will go away. I'm fine. Or they'll say, I'll be fine. Or they'll say, I'll deal with it later. I don't just have that time. But later turns into weeks, into months, sometimes even into years. And by the time they finally see a doctor, the problem is much worse. Doctor says some of the most common ignored symptoms are chest pain, unusual bleeding, sudden weight loss, severe headaches, shortness of breath. Yes, that's also difficulty in breathing, extreme tiredness. Your body whispers before it screams. Do not wait until it is screaming. So always try to check yourself and don't ignore symptoms like this. The next one is taking antibiotics for everything. You know, there are people that usually take antibiotics for everything. Like a sore throat, they take antibiotics. A cold, they take antibiotics. When they have cough, they take antibiotics. Doctors wish people would stop doing this immediately they notice stuff like this. Antibiotics only works against bacterial infections, not viruses. That means they do not help with most colds or flu. And every time antibiotics are overused, bacteria become stronger and harder to kill. That means one day, when you actually need those medicine, they may not actually work for you. That's when you begin to hear, I took these antibiotics, they didn't work, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, I didn't feel any effect. That's because you've overused it. Even worse, some people stop taking them halfway because they feel better. I also say that is one of the fastest way to create antibiotic resistance. Yeah. The next one is waiting until the pain becomes unbearable. There are actually set of people like this. They actually wait until the pain becomes unbearable. Many people think if they can still function, then the problem is not that serious. So they keep going to work, they keep pushing through, keep pretending it is fine. And they are not. Until suddenly, they don't even feel themselves anymore. Doctor says people often wait far too long before seeking help for tooth pain, stomach pain, body pain, back pain, chest discomforts, even infections. And the longer you wait, the harder and more expensive it can become to treat. Problem caught early might need a simple fix. Yes, a problem caught early might need a simple fix. The same problem ignored for months might need surgery. So do not ignore any signs you get. The next one is believing every health trend on social media. We have people like this. Social media is full of miracle cures, like your detox tea, and people promising secret health hacks. Doctors wish people will stop believing everything they see online. Just because someone has millions of followers does not mean that they know what they are talking about. Yes, most people believe that when you have so much followers and you claim to be a doctor, that you know what you're saying. No, some people stop taking their real medications because of a random video they come across online. Others try dangerous trends that can actually harm them. Yes, when you see some people they'll see on social media, when you use a guava leaf, you use it this, you use it that, when you drink it, you get better. Come on, you're harming yourself. The next one is hiding symptoms because you are embarrassed. Most people hide their symptoms because they are embarrassed. This happens more than people admit. Yeah, people stay silent about certain symptoms because they feel awkward or ashamed. Maybe it is something about their skin, their stomach, their body odor, their period, their mental health, their sexual health. But doctor says embarrassment stops people from getting help they need. When you always feel embarrassed, when you always feel shy about everything, it stops you from getting the help you need. And here is the truth. Doctors have seen it all. This is just the only truth. All doctors, they've seen it all. Nothing you can say is going to be new to them or is going to be shocking to them. The more honest you are, the more they can help you. The more they can give you the solution you need. That takes me to the next part. Using random medicines without knowing what it does. We have people like this. You use random medicine without knowing what it does. Many people take medicine the same way they take advice from friends. Yes. Someone says, this works for me. And suddenly they are taking it too. Why are you doing that? Doctors wish people would stop taking pills, doubling doses, or taking medicines without understanding what it works for. Because even common drugs can be dangerous if they are taken the wrong way. So medicines should never be mixed here. When you go to your pharmacy, they just mix different drugs for you and tell you this is for body pain. No, some medicines should never be mixed. Some can damage your stomach, your liver, or even make other problems worse. Just because something is sold in the store does not mean it's automatically safe. The last one is keeping regular checkups. I think I've always talked about prioritizing going for checkup all the time. Yes. A lot of people think, I feel okay. Then I must be okay. I don't feel sick. The doctor says some of the most dangerous illness have no symptoms at first. High blood pressure, diabetes, certain cancers, and other conditions can grow quietly for years, even without you knowing. By the time symptoms appear, the damage may already be serious. It may already be so serious that you don't even know. This is why doctors wish people should stop TB checkups. A simple appointment will catch something before it becomes a life-changing problem. The next one is acting like being young means you are healthy. People actually feel like, I'm young and I'm very healthy. There's nothing wrong with me. Many young people believe they have all the time in the world. They do not sleep enough. They eat badly. They never exercise. They stay stressed all the time. And they keep saying, I'm still young. I don't think anything is wrong with me. Doctors wish people will stop thinking youth makes them invisible. Yeah, because the habits you have now becomes the health problem you deal with later. The choices you make in your 20s and 30s can affect how you feel for the rest of your life. The next one is treating mental health like it doesn't matter. There are people like that. They treat their mental health like they don't care. It doesn't matter to them. This may be the most important one. Yes. Doctor says people often ignore their mental health until they completely break down. Tell themselves, I'm just tired. I just need to be stronger. Other people have it worse. About other people are experiencing worse than me. But stress, anxiety, burnouts, and depression are real. Yeah, they are real. And they can affect your sleep, your appetite, your energy, your relationships, and even your physical health. Doctors wish people would stop suffering in silence because asking for help is not weakness. Pretending everything is okay when it's not, that is what keeps people stuck. Yeah, that's what keeps people stuck. When you're always pretending everything is fine. So, how many of these are you guilty of? The truth is, most people have done at least one or even two. But now that you know better, you can do better. Because the small habits you ignore today can become the big problem we face tomorrow. If this video helped you, leave a comment saying which one shocked you the most and send this to someone who needs to hear this before it's too late. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.